So with that said, let's segue into another topic, which is a hot topic, especially with the YouTube people out there, the views and stuff. So we can talk about, for the next 13 minutes, we can talk about the foreclosure, potential foreclosure wave, given that soon, if not already, the foreclosure moratorium is about to end or already ended in certain areas. So there has been talk about foreclosure wave coming down the pipe, but we're not going to spend 2 or 3 hours that may be necessary to cover all the topic, but we only have 7 minutes remaining. So my comment before I segue to you, Richard, my comment is that there will be no foreclosure wave. There will be just a little bit of a very, very calm, slight issues. It's not going to affect the real estate market that much. Many of the people that didn't pay the mortgages, a lot of them, like you said, they milk the system and they save a lot of money by not doing it. Moreover, many of those people that didn't pay the mortgage as a result of the pandemic, their home, depending on what area they live in the country, but many of those homeowners have a lot of equity. As we all know, the real estate has appreciated in the past 12 to 18 months at a historic level. So when people have equity in their homes, worst case scenario, they don't have a job or whatever, they can still sell their home, still pay their closing costs, still pay all their past due that they didn't pay to their lender, and still able to profit, have equity to walk away from. So it's not, once again, it's not all doom and gloom. There will be some foreclosures coming down the pipe, and they're not going to come down the pipe immediately. They can come down the pipe in the next 6 to 9 months, the next 12 to 24 months, because you and I, especially me, I lived through the last recession in 2008 crisis, economic real estate crisis, and it takes forever to foreclose on someone for the bank, and the bank does not want to foreclose. So a lot of people will still can be able to keep their homes with a lot of restoration programs out there by the government and what have you. They can still there's a lot of relief available that can potentially prevent a foreclosure. But my big picture is there will be some foreclosures coming down the pipe little by little in different markets, but it's not going to be a wave, and then people are not going to buy at a deep discount. No, 10% discount, 50% discount, whatever. And the potential buyers out there of these foreclosures, there will be plenty of buyers. We may even see a multiple offer situation. So no, for those people waiting for a foreclosure wave and take advantage of it and expect to achieve tremendous amount of profit by either investors or others, it is not going to happen. You're not going to make a killing, if you will, buying these foreclosure properties. But there are some good deals out there. But you need to the buyers out there, the buyers foreclosures, you have to temper your expectation. All right, so that's my thought. And so Richard, just give me your 7-minute big picture thought, and we'll conclude this topic.
Yeah, we kind of share the same sentiment, and I think you hit the nail on the head, which is, you keep hearing in the news about, the obviously mortgage payment moratorium and the huge amount of people that haven't made the payments on their mortgages, and when that ends, of course, the impact to the real estate market, the impact to the economy. Now, obviously, I've not surveyed every single person across the country that is in forbearance, but I can tell you the vast majority that I haven't encountered, not exaggerating, probably 80 or 90% of the people that I have encountered that are in forbearance do not need to be in forbearance. They are taking advantage of, understandably, I'm not saying like a bad thing, but they're taking advantage of pretty much the offer that was put out there by the federal government, which is you don't make your mortgage payment, you're not going to get any impacts, negative impacts to your credit. And you're not going to have any negative impacts, period. So, I don't know statistically, and I don't think anyone knows what that number of people is that truly can't make their mortgage payments, that are going to be affected when they have to, versus the chunk of people that merely took advantage of an opportunity to really accumulate more cash, right?
Right.
So let's assume, even if it's 50% or 60% or 70% that haven't made their mortgage payments, that do have the ability to, well, as soon as this moratorium ends, guess what? Those guys have so much more cash in their pocket from not making their mortgage payment for over a year and a half. And I have a lot of clients like that, right? They haven't made the mortgage payment on 5 different properties in the last year. And they're like, well, I'm going to write it out till the end. As soon as it ends, I'm going to make 3 on-time payments the first month for all the properties. And then I'm going to go buy more properties because I have all this cash. I have all this cash from not making my mortgage payments on all my properties, my rental, my primary, because they said, hey, you're not going to hand slap. Why would I not? And look, I didn't take advantage of it. And I know a lot of people that didn't, even though they could have. But I know a lot of people that did take advantage of it. And man, I don't know who's smarter, them or me at this point, because like I said, they've accumulated cash. They're going to go buy more properties. And I'm not saying there's not a ton of people across the country that, have had to take advantage of it because they lost their jobs and so forth. But I mean, unemployment, I think, is historically low right now as well. So I feel like most people that have taken advantage of it, that couldn't make their mortgage payments. I mean, a lot of those people probably chose not to go to work for a year and a half because they're like, I don't have to pay a mortgage, I don't have to pay rent. But once the moratorium ends and they do have to make their mortgage payment, my hunch is they're going to get off their butt and probably go get a job and start making the payments at this point. So, in my opinion, and this is purely my opinion, I think the percentage of people that are truly going to be affected by this, foreclosure moratorium as well is going to be a pretty small percentage versus what the media is making it out to be. And of course, the media is just looking at, okay, well, there's, X number of people that have taken advantage of, not making their mortgage payments. And they're using that alone instead of thinking, okay, well, how many of those people truly could not make their mortgage payments versus chose not to? And I think if and when they get those statistics, it's going to be pretty astounding that, I'd say, a good portion of those people did have the ability to make the mortgage payments. And once again, I don't see it having a negative effect. Now, one thing is there is, of course, a bottleneck of people that truly were going to be foreclosed on even before the pandemic hit, that were already in foreclosure. And there is probably going to be a decent amount of people that truly, may go into foreclosure at the end of it. But, and that's going to add some inventory to the market, to all the other people that have all this cash from not making their payments. But I don't see it having a huge effect on the market like you keep hearing on the news. And I'm not an economist, and neither are you, but we can at least relay what we're seeing on the ground level. And I'd say 85 to 90% of the people I've experienced took advantage of that forbearance without needing to take advantage of it. And obviously, the pool of clients I work with isn't a good reflection of the entire economy. But I mean, I'd be surprised if even half of those people who took advantage of it don't or didn't have the means to make the mortgage payments. And my hunch is they absolutely will have the means to make the mortgage payments once the moratorium ends.
Yeah, well, Richard, I mean, you and I are contrarian thinkers. So, and I believe for the most part, we are right. Well, both of us going to be correct, but only time will tell. Let's, circle back in the next 6 to 12 to 18 months when we refer back to this particular podcast, and then we will determine, how accurate we are and what have you. I mean, so only time will tell, but this is a very, very interesting perspective that we have just discussed. It really makes sense. And yeah, so I mean, that the level of knowledge that you and I have and the perspective and the true analysis are really of value to a lot of people out there. And we challenge the YouTubers out there, the customers out there, to just whenever you hear anybody talk about anything, in our case, real estate, you need to get the right source. And we believe that you and I are good sources because we tell the truth. We're very practical. We have the the on the ground experience based on our years of in the real estate market, given what we do, you and I. So that once again, thank you for your perspective, Richard. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you attending this great topic, and I thank everyone to listening to us, and thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Thank you for attending, Richard. Have a nice day.
Appreciate the opportunity.
All right, bye-bye.